I'm sorry, I just had to get that out. Okay, here's a list of things that I... Oh my God! Come back! Wait, are you going to stay there? Yes? Okay, well, screw that list, because it's not... You going to stay there? Okay, fine. Because I'm not doing another take... Fine. Okay, well, anyway. This is just too weird. This is just too weird. I'm going to try, okay? This is just bloody weird! This whole thing with the thingness and your being able to not and the this whole you're not right, you strange mechanical device. Anyway, okay. Oh yes, before I forget, BBT abridged movie. If you got half an hour, go ahead, watch it, and it's ridiculously sad how much you'll giggle. I suggest using headphones because otherwise people will stare at you. It references Doctor Who, Top Gun, Thundercats, and Never-Ending Story, all within about 5.5 minutes. It's just because it can. It's truly horrible. And again, if you got about half an hour, go ahead, just treat yourself. If you've already seen it, you're not who I thought you were. You're someone else. Okay, and yes, video. You and me in the video thing. And, great, Larry has joined the 21st century. If only we could get him into the right decade. Just, one, you know how much I hate talking to you. Okay? And two, let me have the last vestiges of my namby-pamby neo-Mennonite mentality, okay? Let me put on my training shorts and then you can call me a big boy. All right? When you're my age, you'll understand. Okay. What else here? Okay, I'm going to set a timer so that this doesn't go on all day. Let's see, here's 8, 10. I can't for the life of me. Okay, so that should be sufficient time. When that goes off, I will finish whatever thought I have in my stupid little cranium and sign off. Okay, so, you ready? Okay, here it goes. I drive quite the distance to get to work. It usually takes me about an hour to get there, and of course, so. But the fact is, when I drive down there, I hear a lot of religious stations, sermons, Christian rock, stuff like that. And one day I really started blaspheming. Hardcore, saying a lot of things that, quite frankly, I'm not going to repeat here. That's how embarrassingly bad they are. And I finally had to examine the reasons why. Why was I doing this? Was I a closet Christ junkie? Did I like Jesus? Was I yanking on the pigtails of the deity that I favored? And so I really took some time and I sat and I thought about it, and no, shockingly, no Christ envy. I had faith envy is what it was. And so I went on a bender and I started looking at everything, all of it, Christianity and Buddhism and Taoism and Yoruba and, oh dear me, Scientology and so forth and so on. And no. And again, these drives would continue and get heavier, and I'd listen to more crap and feel more compelled to fling profanities, literal profane itties. And so I finally had to say, okay, well, what is it that I do believe? What is it? If I'm not going to go ahead and go with all these people, what is it? So these drives finally shut off the radio and just talk out loud, trying to hammer together a set of beliefs, a set of whatevers. I don't know. And what it finally came down to is, I'm an atheist, which means I don't believe in God. I don't think I'm a nihilist. It's not that I don't believe in anything. I just don't believe in deity or deities. And I didn't like the sobriquet. Atheist sounds dirty, and so I wanted to change it. So I went on Google and was like, okay, well, why is it Greek? Why are we using Greek language to define this? Why don't we use Latin? Latin for atheist is infidel. Yeah. Let's see, what else? I even tried Esperanto. Made up language, why not? Necrodonto, I believe, is how you pronounce it. And even the necro at the beginning, it's still Greek death. Let's stay away from that. So and secondly, after finding out, okay, I'm an atheist, now what? Who do I have to give money to? You know, and I know that seems like a weird thing. Atheist, isn't that that's it? That's all you have to do is say, I don't believe in anything, and that's it. But no, I felt that was anticlimactic. That wasn't the end. You know, I'd come to a belief, but it wasn't the end of belief. And I had to finally kind of, you know, get my stuff together. And I went on the internet and saw what was out there as far as atheism. Oh, the most snobbish, obnoxious, pedantic, stuck-up, condescending, contrary, adversarial butt monkeys. And I didn't like any of them. They just struck me as very bad. Is this really, this is what atheism has come to? Just a bunch of people whose only interest is to debate and defend their belief and to knock down everybody else's. That was it. And I felt that there had to be something more. There had to be some other angle to it. And again, some people would say, well, Larry, there is another angle to it. It's called Buddhism. They're Buddhist. They don't believe in God. They don't pray first. That's not entirely true. There are a lot of different sects that have different religious beliefs, some of which are kind of akin to Hindi theology, and some do pray. In fact, a lot of the Tibetan Buddhists, where it's kind of big, I would say, they're into prayer and gods and so forth. So shut up. But still, I get the idea. There has to be some kind of nice atheism, spiritual atheism. I'm looking for an atheist reformation. I cannot stand that the only way that a person can say, I don't believe in God, and be able to be heard is by proclaiming that you're smarter than everybody else and that everybody else, their beliefs are stupid. I mean, you heard of the God Delusion, the book where basically Richard Dawkins says that religion is a virus that inhabits the idea of a person? Great. Okay, that's just the kind of tone we want to set for a nice little discussion, is just to say, you're not only dumb, but you're infected. Get away from me. I want to be able to say, this is what I believe, and this is why I believe it, and not have to defend it. Christians don't. And Christians didn't come to their beliefs by scientific reasoning. Nobody said, well, logically, according to the empirical data at my command, and because of the focus groups, yes, I believe the analysis is pointed to, take me, Jesus! You do it emotionally. And I'm going to be frank, okay? I have the belief that there is no God. Not the certainty. I have faith that there is no God. And I have a couple of reasons behind that, too. And I gotta say, ever since I've come to this realization, ever since I've come to settle down with this, I have felt more alive and more grateful, more hopeful, more blessed than at any other time of my life. I love my family. I love my job most days. I love where I'm at. I feel like I'm accomplishing things without stressing out over them. I feel like there's no need for permanency, no need for transiency. I've finally discovered some kind of medium, some kind of middle way, if you want to go ahead and go at it that way. There is, of course, a huge tenet in Buddhism that, kicks me right out of that group, which is, of course, the head shaving. I can't. No, no. Seriously, there is a tenet in Buddhism that I can't get behind, and that is they don't want you to take any reality changing drugs, including antidepressants. Fuck you! So what I have to say about that. And I know that, you could go ahead and say, well, go ahead and change your diet, find a balance in that direction instead of doing the Western thing, just, eat as many pills as you possibly can. Bite me. Mainly because I don't feel like uprooting my entire existence and my emotional calm because you think that that's the way I should do things. That's right back to dogma. That's right back to, this. Again, I have a lot of beliefs. I have a lot of things that I want to say. I want to be able to have a forum. I want to be able to declare a lot of shut the hell up, I'm trying to finish my thought. I want to be able to basically just, like I said, I'm on an atheist reformation. And I want to be able to say to people, it's okay to believe whatever the hell you want. As long as you have reasons. As long as you've examined the reasons. They don't have to be logical. Fuck logic. My reasons in not believing in God have nothing to do with logic. I'd like to take logic and kick it in the nuts, to tell you the truth. But anyway, the timer's off and my thought is pretty much done. The whole idea behind this video is to say, I have no idea where to start. The Protestant Reformation began because somebody nailed a piece of pulp to a piece of wood. Those things don't exist anymore. There is a reformation happening. Unfortunately, it's going the wrong way. Our society is going down the path that never mind. I'm not gonna get into all of that. Yes, I have beliefs in that arena, but no, listen to all that crap, okay? In fact, being exposed to all of that virulent is kind of what's bringing me to this feeling that we all need to get together and we all need to declare what we believe and why we believe it so that we can understand one another, so that we can say with certainty, I believe that your ideas are valid and that together we can create something more like a compromise than a, well, fuck it, I guess that's the way things are. I told you that I have hope, that I've felt more hopeful than I have in a long time. And usually I'm just, whatever, things aren't going to change. I'm not going to be able to change them, but for the first time, I'm kind of feeling that maybe a change is called for, and I may be the one who's able to bring it about. I just don't have the instruments. I don't have the tools. I'm sadly lacking in technological savvy. And that's kind of what I wanted to use this video to do, to say, help. Okay, I'm done. Gibby, you stop!